You are now live. Yeah, it's Lock West in the morning. Dash Radio, the spin room. You know what it is.
Hey, yo, what up, party peoples? We back at it again on this Flashback Friday, this Feel Good Friday, you dig? We got another great show for you. I be your man, Bigg Pwee from the spin room. I got my ride or die, my right hand, my girl, Big Les in the building, Leslie Les, and my girl, K Stephanie. What up, y'all? How's everybody doing?
Excited.
Good, excited.
My brother is here today.
Yeah, man. Hey, so, Jay Tasha, she's not with us. She's doing another event today. DJ Ron C's not with us either because he's doing an event also. So, but the crew is here. We're going to make it happen. We're going to keep things pushing. Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, before we get the show started, right down below on this YouTube page, please do us a favor, subscribe, click on that subscription button, click on that bell. Also, because we post a video every single day, Monday through Friday, we got Big Les Entertainment Report, Bigg Pwee's One Gotta Go, Pet Peeve, K Stephanie's Her TV, Jay Tasha's Millennial Minute, Mind of a Millennial, man, tongue tied right there. Throwback Thursday, and Somebody Always Sits in the Hot Seat, man. But today, we got a special guest that's in the building with us. Ladies and gentlemen, I've known this brother, me and Les, we might have known him maybe the same amount of time, man. No?
You got nothing on me and my man's relationship. We go back to like 19, 20 years of age, running the streets in New York City. We started our dance careers as being club kids in New York City. And then Flex went on to dance for like Salt and Pepper and Crystal Waters. And then literally there was this place called the Uptown Comedy Club in New York, which was like the holy grail for Black comedians. And he never said anything to anybody. And you would see Bill Bellamy, J.B. Smoove, even Tracy Morgan. And next thing you know, I see my Flex, Alexander, get on stage and rip the house down. And so I'm just so happy for all he's done. And he's here to tell us what's coming up and all that he's been doing. So I got you, Pee Wee.
Yeah, so let's make it happen, ladies and gentlemen. Put your hands together and give it up for our folks, Flex Alexander, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah.
Yo, hey. What's
That's
up?
my guy.
What's up, y'all?
Yeah, what's up, Flex? First and foremost, my brother, want to say it is great to see you, and thank you so very much for taking the time out your day and to rock with the Spin Room crew today, man. Thank you.
Of course, man. You know, y'all my people, man. I anytime, man. I appreciate y'all reaching out and thinking about an old fella.
But don't even play because you look exactly like you did in 1989. So
except for this little gray hair and a little gray in there.
That's it.
And you look great too, Les. You look great, man.
We holding it down. It's so
Hold it down. I was seeing you still flipping and stuff. I'm like, man. Listen, if I try to do a hitch kick, I would probably split my whole groin.
So what's up, Flex? You not dancing like you used to no more?
Man, first of all, there's nowhere to do that anyway. I was actually creating a place to do that called Reminisce. Myself and oh gosh, he's gonna kill me for getting his name. Say it again.
Smooth D.
Smooth D. Yes, Smooth D. We created a spot. We had 1 week on La Brea where it was just strictly about reminiscing about just great music and everything. We had, chicken wings. We had candy from back in the day. We just wanted to create that atmosphere of when you hear that music, it takes you back to, good times, I think, for all of us. And I wanted to make that kind of like a place where dance heads could come and just have fun, but we were trying to do the second one and then Rona hit.
Yeah. Hey, Corona ruined a lot of stuff, man.
Let me tell you, the beer and the virus.
Flex, I see that you DJing now, man. I love to see, you get on your live and you get down. What made you, just like say, you know what, let me open up to the world and let's make it pop?
I actually started DJing in 2015, and I was going on live every Thursday. But back then, everyone wasn't trapped in the house. So, I would get a loyal following to get out, they would come and watch me. And for me, I never cared about how many people were on, if it was 10, if it was 20, if it was 200. Like, I love music, and Les knows as a dancer, that is in my blood. So I'm playing music that I want people to feel and move because I just love music. My boy Jason, Grand Soul's son, who used to DJ on my show when I was doing it at Dash. He's the one. He was coming out to the house and really helping me in the beginning, like learning because I wanted to do it right. And then DJ Malski gave me my first DJ controller. So shout out to DJ Malski. But I love it, man. And when everything happened, obviously we were all locked down. I just like other DJs, I started playing, and people, the messages we got, people were like, thank you, thank you, thank you, because this really, really helped us. And, people were really having a mental challenge during that time. And I know for me, I was, because I went through anxiety first, like, yo, what's going on? And, people sending you these random texts talking about a friend of mine in the government says that troops are coming. And I'm like, you niggas got all these friends in the government, so why you ain't say this last year? So that was really the reason why we went on. And then wifey, of course, jumped on just being hype girl, hype wifey. And, it was just something fun to do. Like, we literally did it every other day. We did it every other day. And then we started spacing it out, and then Instagram started tripping with the copyrights, which I'm like, listen, man, these artists are getting a lot of new fans because the generation didn't know their music, and we're playing it now. And I know people were telling me, like, yo, I literally went to iTunes and bought all the music you played because I didn't know about it.
Right.
And Instagram, so I started, I went to Twitch and tried a couple other ones, but it's not as instant, like when you're on IG, people know you're on, and you get on. So it's tough to really build in other platforms and stuff. So I kind of vacillate between all of them, man. But I just, it made me kind of lose just that fun, because it became like, dang, I can't even go on here, and Instagram won't let me be great.
All know is that you were literally like booking gigs, touring as a DJ.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So were you doing it also like, if you're going to St. Louis, let me book a DJ gig and let me do some stand up while I'm there? Like, was it handy?
Yeah. I was doing that. Some places I would, just stand up and didn't do the after party and DJ the after party. Some places, if I was going to speak, I would find a spot and go spin. And a lot of events that I started speaking at, I just said, hey, are you guys in a party after? They're like, yeah. I'm like, you got a DJ? Yeah. I'm like, well, let me do it. And then just add that money in there. And you get, it's a knockout 2-for-1. So, but it was so much fun. And people didn't know. They were like, oh, man, you really you got some skills. And I'm like, yeah, when you love music, I think it's easy. I think it's really, really easy. And when starting it again, it just, I don't know, it was a release, man. It really was, because I for a minute was losing my mind.
No, we all were. What other hidden talents do you have that we don't know about? Because I know you.
Yeah.
Right? And now I'm DJing, the stand-up, the acting. What else is in the arsenal that we don't know?
I have become a handyman now due to COVID. I'm going to add that. I bought some patio furniture I put together myself. Got an office chair that I put together. I went and took all the light bulbs and removed stuff in the backyard, changed the light bulbs, and got the electricity working. And what else did I do? Today I'm putting up curtains right when I finish talking to you guys.
Hey, and isn't it something special, like when you do this yourself? Don't you just feel so good about it?
I feel great. Like, in my head, you see me on a mountain, and I'm like, dun, dun, dun. My cape is blowing. It feels great, man.
And just the other day, I had bought a Ring doorbell, and my
Mm-hmm.
godbrother came over and helped me install it and everything. And so
Yeah.
now, like, I feel so good. I'm on it. You know, I'm checking it
Yeah.
out and doing all kinds of stuff.
Man.
Yeah, like I did that.
Yes. I forgot to mention that. I did that too.
Yeah,
And I just
yeah.
added an extra motion sensor camera over the garage with the light. I just did that.
See, look at you. Okay.
I'm
Well,
on a roll.
We're
man,
all
we
building
go.
skills we didn't have before COVID.
At all. I was calling up my handy guy, Miguel. I'm like, yo, Miguel, can you come do this? Can you come do that? Because I wasn't doing anything. But now, my next project is my garage. I'm going to transform that into a gym. I got a bench, I got all the weight stuff, and I'm going to put it in the garage.
Nice, 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 nice,
Mhm.
man.
So after this pandemic is over, do you think you're gonna, have anything booked up at like any events that you have your, certain events that you have your eye on that you're gonna do afterwards?
It depends. See, I just don't know what the situation is, man. Like I know I'm reoccurring on Mixed Dish. They just called me back for that to start probably about 2 weeks. So I got to find out what the protocol is. I have another series I'm guesting on, and they shoot in Dallas, but I'm waiting to find out what the protocol is because y'all got to have it together if I'm gonna risk traveling because I haven't been anywhere since December of last year. I don't know, but those are the things that I'm looking at now because now sometimes they want you to, quarantine before you come in.
Right.
Some places are, if you come, you got to be in the bubble for 2 weeks. So I'm just trying to figure it out. But as far as DJ gigs, like nobody's, at least I ain't flying out nowhere to be in no club.
Right.
Not to be in no club. No, sorry,
Right,
Bob. No, no,
right.
no.
So if we take a step back, let's go down, because you just said it, memory lane. Let's go back
hmm
memory lane. And
hmm
Les had opened up in the show, and she even said, like, you guys go back some ways, New York City,
Yes,
you
yes,
know, dancing and everything. Go
yeah.
ahead, Les, go ahead.
Who you first, Lex?
Say that again. What you say?
Tell
She
them who
said,
knew you first.
Oh, you knew me first. Of
Happy.
course. Oh yeah. Let me tell you something. When Mike Tyson got out of jail and fought Peter McNeely, we co-hosted something for BET. We were in Vegas, and we did that together. We co-hosted this thing for BET. Me and Les, we go back, man, to the clubs, to sweating, to 2, 3 in the morning, then going to the Chelsea Diner to get the 250 breakfast. Sound Factory, like the New York club life, man, was everything. And we kids that we loved it, man. Les would, all the dance contest, she would always kill and flip and splits and all this stuff, man. And it was such a support system of dancers, man. I miss that. Like I find myself reminiscing a lot, and I miss that because those were easier days and they were fun days.
Yeah, it was before all the politics happened. We were broke. We didn't have anything.
Ah,
Bouncers would let us into clubs because we kept the party going. And it
yeah,
was a crew of us. We lived out of our backpacks. Like it was just,
yes,
and you did it
yes,
for love. It wasn't
yeah.
until we started like, oh, we can make a living, and the politics and the politics that got in.
Yeah,
It
all
just
of that, started, and I think they have a union now, but that's because of us. We laid the groundwork. We took all of the bruises. We took all of the, you know, 17-hour video shoots, getting fed pizza and $200. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah,
until you worked your way up, in the upper tier dancers, like Les was, one of the upper tier dancers, my crew was, but there's a lot of people that weren't. A lot of us started like, you wasn't really making no money, and I remember Ralph McDaniels had a show called Video Music Box in New York, and they would be at different parties and stuff like that. And this girl named Angela, who used to work for Ralph McDaniels, was a scout for them. And I remember she came up to me and was like, "Yo, let me get your number." I'm thinking she's trying to holler. So she said, "Let me get your number. Da, da, da. Hit me. I'm gonna hit you up later." I'm like, "Oh, all right." She calls me. She's like, "Yeah, I cast for videos." Da, da, da. I'm like, "Ah, this is some bull crap." So she casted me in a video, and it was my first video, and it was myself and June Ambrose.
Wow.
oh wow,
Yes, I did.
wow,
I listen to the stars.
Yes, I did June's show, and we talked about that. I was like, "Yo, do you remember?" It was a group called Attention. They were out of Buffalo, and a song called "Crazy About You, Baby." And I never forget that ever. June was new, and it was we were in a park on 10th Avenue dancing and doing routines, and they fed us pizza, and that was it. I don't even think we got no money for that one.
It's so crazy how, and I'll let you get your question in, PJ. I'm just saying, while it's on the tip of my head, but we come from, I guess, an era where me, you, Josie, Darren, Jennifer Lopez, Elise Neal, Claudia Jordan, all of us were like music video kids, and literally spawned, spread our wings into other things. And it's just great. It's like we went to high school together without really going to high school, right? I
remember Josie when she was really starting to make her foray into, acting and wanting to just get out there. She stayed at my place for a week. I was living on Laurel Canyon. She said, I need a place to stay. Blah, blah, blah. I was like, yeah, cool. That's how it was. And it was never nothing extra. It was like, we support each other. We, I think at the time, God, was that? I think she was with Kendall Gill back then. You remember those days?
Wow.
Yes, back in the day. And I was like, I got you, Josie. We're going to do this, that, because we were both chasing our dreams. And when I left New York, it was tough because we had formed Mop Top. We were trying to put together a demo. Stretch had done Wise Guys, but we were trying to do something new. And we were grouping up to write lyrics and everything. But it was like, as much as I love dancing and I love my crew, I just wanted something else, man. I was like, gosh, I want something else. And Khalif is the one who pushed me. Khalif is the one who challenged me and dared me to go on stage and do comedy, because I was always impersonating people. And he was like, yo, man, you mad funny. Yo, you should go on stage, Flex. You go. I'm like, nah. He's like, I'm telling you. And he really is the one who pushed me and dared me.
Yeah. That's what's up. Now, Flex, if the Flex Alexander right now, if you was able to go back to those times of just getting the pizza and just having fun and everything like that, what would be the best advice you would give yourself back then, knowing what you know now?
Enjoy it. Like, savor everything. Don't move so fast through. I just, because you think it's going to be there forever. I would have learned more about money, and because a lot of us were, I don't know about Les, but that wasn't taught in my house. Finances was not. I saw my mother and my grandmother work. You work, pay bills. So I thought it was. So whenever I got money, I was like, okay, I'm gonna do what I want to do. So I would have learned about finances, take my time, enjoy everything, and take more pictures. I took a lot of pictures, but there were so many moments that I missed with Salt and Pepper, and with Crystal Waters, with Tony, with so many people that I missed, because I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna see them again. We're gonna do this again, and not knowing it, that was it.
Right.
I definitely would have taken my time.
Nice.
That brings me to the question of because I know you had a show back in 2014 on the O Network.
Yes.
And so I know that brought a lot of viewers to your personal life when it comes to rental homes and finances and stuff like that.
Right.
So was that the birth of the currency conversations that you have now? Because right now you're talking about the industry couple and how to manage the finances. So was that the birth of it, or? It
wasn't the birth of it. I think that we were good candidates to do what Chase was, in essence, was already putting into play. And they saw what we did. And we did the show because so many people were like, oh man, how could you do that? But so many people were thankful that we did it, because
I was one of them.
it made the conversation okay to have. We're normal people. We just have a different job. We're normal people. We hurt just like everybody else hurt. If we're not working, it's tough. It's real stuff. So I would rather us tell our story than, one of these gossip things, talking about, yeah, Flex and Chinese, they broken. And I was like, let's beat them to the punch.
Right.
Let's tell our story, because it's real. So many of us walking around and faking the funk. And I had so many people that we know, I won't mention names, come to me yo, man, I could have never done that, but thank you, man. I was living in my car, man, or I was living in my mom's basement or whatever. And I'm like, yo, it's okay. You can talk about it. But we're so busy trying to keep this facade up that everything is good. And I'm just not that dude. I'm the same kid from the, South Bronx projects that, I'm just going to keep it real. So going into the currency conversations, that was great because there was a lot we learned. We learned with the panelists. We learned with Sandra, who was our moderator, and she's a genius. And I learned about life insurance, which Black people, you hear life insurance, they're like, oh, don't talk about that. But you can use life insurance as a tool while you're here. It's called infinite banking. You create the value, you accrue value in your life insurance so that you can borrow from that, and you don't have to go to a creditor. You don't have to go to a bank. You can do universal index life insurance, which it peaks off of the S&P index. So if you have 15% growth, your whatever you have in there grows 15%. If the market does bad, you don't lose money, you just don't gain anything. And those things I finally put in place for our children so that they can pass down wealth, man, because we're so far behind. That's why this line here I created, the Black Wealth line, Seneca Village, was a thriving community in Central Park in New York that was taken away by eminent domain. And they flooded them. They were like Tulsa, Oklahoma. They were like Rosewood. They were like all these different places that were thriving. And we have to get back to really understanding economics and not so much flashing. You know what I mean? Sorry for the long-winded answer, but it's important. It's important to me because these lessons I didn't know before. So now at 50, I'm like, okay, it's still early enough that I can, teach my children, and I can now do some more stuff for my family or myself and cover us. And
I just want to thank you, Flex, because I know back in 2014 I was watching your show, and that kind of made me slow down because as I'm not famous or I'm not a celebrity, but as a mother, just watching that show, just being a new mother at that, helped me kind of slow down and kind of pick up some gems that you were dropping in that show. So I just want to thank you for that.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome.
And I think it's very important because me and Les has had the same conversation, Flex, about taking care of ourselves, afterwards, because we don't know, and I think it's very important because, like you said, in the Black family for years, we never talked about this. This was never a conversation. And if you did bring it up, it would be shunned to the side. Like, don't worry about it. You don't, that's not focus. I need you to do this, that, and the other.
Exactly.
But these are the conversations that we need to have, especially with our kids, and building generational wealth. So most definitely, I appreciate it. In Seneca Village, it's so funny. I saw the small documentary they had on it, and what's it? Central Park now.
Central Park,
is what Seneca Village
was.
And it's funny because there's only a headstone that says something about it, and that's it. No one knows nothing about it.
That's it, and it's continuing today. It's New York is not even New York anymore. People, when I went back maybe a year or so ago, I'm like, yo, what's going on? I'm looking around. I'm like, yo, people. I see all the white folks at cafes on 135th. I'm like, what is going on here? Like, oh, this is Northern Manhattan. I'm like, no, this is Harlem. This is Harlem.
Right. Anytime you see a white person walking their dog at 2 a.m. on their cell phone on 125th Street, unbothered.
You know what's up. I knew when Bill Clinton got his office on 125th Street, I said it. I said, this is the start. Right here. And I remember back then, I was doing Uptown Comedy Club. I had some people come to me and wanted me to buy brownstones. They were dilapidated. They were bad. They were selling. It was like buy a brownstone for $1, and it was true. Like you just had to take it and fix it up. I was like, now I want to do it. I ain't got no time for that. Blah, blah, blah. And I think now, had I done that, they're selling for $3 and $4 million.
They're in Brooklyn. I know.
Brooklyn.
And that's the problem. Again, with I'm sure your wealth class is teaching, is that we think we don't have financial options for first-time home buyers, for programs, for this, or just being in the military, or being a woman, or being African American, or being Latino. There's so many programs that are available for people to buy homes for first-time buyers. I was lucky that I think my mom kind of learned during and after her divorce from my father about financial intellect, and so she always taught me and my sister that if you ever have kids or if you ever own property, you need to do your living trust. your living
Yes.
trust, your will, and long-term care insurance.
Yes.
And
Yes.
so I've had that
Yes.
in place, and I share it with all of my friends. So I'm glad you're doing what you're doing, really.
Yeah, it's so important, you know. And I partnered this young brother named Alfred Nixon, man, who he's on Instagram. He works with credit, and my credit was jacked up, and I went to the program that he introduced me to. My credit was a 495, and I was like, damn, I ain't never seen a 495. But it's because of the damage, you know. I did things that I thought was smart. I got property in Vegas, but it was at the wrong time. It was the collapse hit. So it just took a while to recover. I just couldn't recover because things were up and down, up and down. Money come in, money go out. So I finally said, I'm going to focus. I'm going to get my credit together. And then within that program, they had a package where you get a living trust, you get an irrevocable living trust, will, and a medical directive. And I was like, what? So I did all that, and just it changed my life. And now, you know, damn near 800 credit score. I can go and sign for anything I want, but I'm trying to use that to put myself in a better position. You know, I'm looking at land like in Colorado and Utah, and you know, and being able to have something to pass along. And now I'm teaching our daughter, you know, has got her bank account now. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna put you on as an authorized user, get your credit score up, so when you want to buy a car, I ain't got to co-sign.
Right.
You know, you go sign yourself. You know, she's creating her business, and I'm told, I said, well, you got to form an LLC, and because you want it to flow through this way. So, you know, lessons, everything I went through, I'm just transferring that to them now. You know, and it's just important.
I
That's
think
what's
one
up.
thing that a lot of African Americans don't realize is that we're not the only ones filing for bankruptcy or with for.
What?
And they purposely, like white and other people purposely file bankruptcy because they know that you can't touch certain assets and all that other stuff. So don't be afraid of it. People will start sending, and I've never done it, but people will start sending you money for credit cards or whatever for
Oh,
like 6 months. Like you'll be back and you'll be
listen, I did it. We did it. I went right down there to Temple Street, right there, and was up in there like, what? Yeah, uh-huh. Walked out of there like George Jefferson, like, yeah, everything. And literally in 2 months, they were sending me credit card. That's how the system is. It's like, okay, we're going to get you out, but let's rope you back in. You know what I mean? And I went through that, but I just now, I take everything within our trust, and I put everything in our trust on our LLC. So everything is covered now, you know, and it's just learning though, you know, it's the experiences that you have, and I'm glad that I had those experiences because I wouldn't be able to, you know, do what I'm doing now.
I mean, it's a beautiful thing because I think from how you were saying where you started, you know, dancing and just eating pizza and not getting paid, you
Yeah.
know, and, you know, of course, the comedy circuit, getting into the comedy circuit is not one of the easiest things in the world, you know.
No, no.
For somebody to get up on stage and be vulnerable enough and take the hits,
Hmm.
and then from you getting a television gig and taking off and you had your ups and your downs, and again you're starting to see like, okay, I need to start getting things in order
Hmm.
because, and it's great that you're teaching your kids the same exact thing. I think it is
Yeah.
important.
Yeah.
Flex, with all this being said, you said that you're going to go back and do your recurrent role on
Mixed
Blackish,
dish, mixed
Mickish,
dish, mixed
Mickish.
dish. Yeah.
And are we writing? Are you doing some other stuff? You got your
Yeah,
own
yeah, yeah,
production,
yeah,
writing, and
yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm doing some. So we have an animated situation. My wife and I, we got our showrunner. So we literally, I was on a conference call today. We are, you know, getting that deal, closing her deal. And
well,
I
if you
have.
need a voice for it,
Oh,
you know.
listen. Once we get going, that's one thing about me. I did it with one-on-one. I did it with any show that I was on, and I could help people. I did. There were people who needed five and under lines, whatever, so they can get their card. You know, Herb will tell you. I've had Herb. I made sure Herb was straight, so he
That's
keep
our,
his.
that's my man, a hundred
That's my
grand
man,
right
you
there.
know. So made sure he keep his SAG card. I made sure, you know, I just always did that from craft services to wardrobe. You know, I helped, and you know, the sad thing is, people that go on to great positions forget the help that they had, and I'm happy for them, but I guess I'm more sentimental now. Like, so it hurts. It's like, man, there were writers that started out on my show that, I had to to be like, okay, yeah, they're good. All right, boom, all right, let's keep them. They have shows now, and I never got a call, but I'm like, I still wish them well. So I don't change that. So even with this animated show, I plan to reach out to, all my people when I can find the right thing to put them in, because that's what we should do. We're supposed to do that. So we're doing that. I have a 1-hour drama also that I'm developing, reoccurring on Mixed Dish, reoccurring on BT Plus on, oh gosh, what was going on? I cannot remember. With Darren, the show Family Business.
Oh, okay, okay.
On the Family Business. And so, yeah, so I've been busy. It's crazy. I've been busy at home. Like, I was sitting here getting paid, like, to DJ. I was doing private events. I was, like, doing Zoom. I'm like, people are really doing Zoom parties. I'm like, okay. I mean, I was making some. Shanice was doing concerts right here. I'm like, okay, this is cool. I can make some money and go upstairs and go to bed.
I love it.
What you've learned, you've had, from Homeboys in Outer Space to One-on-One and having executive producer title and stuff. What is the things that you learned about being in those positions that you didn't know as just an actor walking onto set? And what will you change going forward with the next show that gets picked up?
One, she's just that you got to definitely be on your business. One-on-One, I wasn't on my business. Not, but I know I would chalk that up to youth. There's a show that I created and I pitched and sold, and I brought in a showrunner, but I didn't register my concept and didn't put out my synopsis, my characters, all that stuff. So when it was time to do the show, the writer that I brought in, who she did a wonderful job. I'm just saying more for me. She did the script based off of what I told them. Rest in peace, Unetta Boone. The guild recognized her as the creator, and I say that not out of hate, but out of just knowing better that going forward, now I make sure I register everything. I write out a detailed show Bible or pitch Bible, a synopsis and everything, so that you can protect yourself. And it's not that she was crooked or anybody was crooked, but we have to be more mindful to protect ourselves. So I definitely would tell anybody, before you go pitching an idea, telling anybody, protect yourself, register your idea, because the guild will protect you. Being an EP, there's a lot that comes with it. A lot of responsibility, a lot of people coming at you and wanting things, and you have to find that balance of being creative and being a producer, not letting feelings get in the way, not taking things personal, understanding it's business. I think that's one of the biggest lessons I learned. So, even what we're doing now, it's been great. We've had some bumps with the animation thing, but we got it all smoothed out, and we're all on the same page, and we just want to make it happen because it's something that's going to be great for us and for kids, and it's something that I think people need right now. So those are the key things that, when you're in that position, you just got to make sure you protect yourself and make sure you pick and choose your battles. You don't have to fight for everything. And a lot of the times, I wouldn't even, there's a writer's room. A lot of the times, I don't even bother the writer's room. I'm like, I let them do what they do. If I need to say something, I go in there. But otherwise, I let them do what they do. And then I stay on the stage and set the tone there and do what I do there. So, and it just works, it works better.
My flex is all grown up. I
can't. Oh, man, I tell you, boy, I'm like, man, this grown, having a 19-year-old and a 16-year-old, it's a trip.
Yeah, man. Well, let's talk about the thing that we're here to celebrate. The resurgence of One-on-One back on Netflix.
Yes. Yes, that is so awesome, man. Because I've been trying. I wrote a reboot already. I'm already ready for the reboot, and I was telling my managers, I was in my agent, I was like, hey, let's reach out. Like, come on, you see all these reboots happening. Like, it can happen. And I talked to everyone. They're down, and like, yo, come on. And then all of a sudden, my manager sends me an email saying, hey, check this email out. And they were like, hey, would Flex be open to do this promotion? We're bringing all these shows back. And I'm like, what? And I was really excited. I'm still excited because a new generation will get to see it. My kids now, they were too young then, so I think now they can see it with a different respect. And it just was fun, man. I had a great time on that show. Loved every minute of it except the last season, when I didn't want to, I wasn't cool with the changes they were trying to make, and so went our separate ways. But overall, that was one of the best times in my life. Like I'm so proud of that show and everybody on that show, and so excited that Netflix is taking that lead, not just for our show, but for all of those shows, because we put a stamp on the culture. We put a stamp on the culture, for sure.
That you did. Tell Netflix, run me that check.
Yeah,
especially for my era, you definitely did. I remember one of the episodes. It brought, I don't know, it was one of my favorites. I think it was played by Omarion. He was playing Nightmare.
Yeah.
Nightmare with the wine.
Yeah.
But yeah, and like I one of my favorite episodes when she was Kyla was like studying with Nightmare Omarion, and you just like busted in the door, you're about to jump on him. That's one of my favorites. But do you still get in contact with some of the cast members up until now?
I talked to them. I talked to Robert. I talked to Kelly Perrine, I talk to Cicely, I talk to Kyle all the time. I still keep in touch with them. A lot of the guest stars that were on there. I talked to, it's crazy because, Common, his first acting job was on our show. He played a teacher in one of the episodes.
Oh, that's right. That's right, yeah.
It was one of his first, if I'm not mistaken, his first, because I saw him at the Essence Festival, and he thanked me. He said, man, I really appreciate that, man. And I'm like, yeah, of course, man. So that just to be able to see that, I mean, we had Solange on there. We had so many people. We had New Edition on there. We Method Man, and Method and I, we go back. We used to work at the Statue of Liberty together, and
wow.
Yeah, myself, my cousin Grapevine, who's in the group Trends of Culture on Motown, Method, and You Got from Wu-Tang. We all worked. I sold hot dogs and the refreshments. Method did all the, he took the trash and the stock and all that stuff. So it's so dope to see what's happening for him when I look at their series on Hulu, seeing them talk about that part when he worked at the statue. I'm like, yo, that's real. Oh my God, I remember those days, man. We get paid Friday, get on the ferry, go back and hang out, man. It was great. It was great.
So October 15th is the date, right? For Netflix?
October 15th.
We look forward to it. So, ladies and gentlemen, please make sure you set your alert, put it in your queue. On October 15th, 101 is coming back with my man Flex Alexander. So make sure you guys do that on Netflix.
Yes.
Flex, if we looked in your Netflix queue right now, what shows are you watching?
I watch a lot of documentaries. Shanice be like, that stuff is depressing. You watching? I like murder mysteries. I like cold case files. What else did I watch on Netflix? I watched a lot of the movies. I watched The Power Project, Jamie Foxx. That was dope.
Hey, that was really dope.
Yeah. I watched Fauda, which is a series on Netflix. Fauda, yeah.
Fauda. Okay, I'm gonna have to look at that.
Fauda is dope. Marcella, that's another joint on there. It was a joint called Spotless that was amazing. This actress Tanya Fear was on there. Like, this show was one of the best thrillers I've seen in a while. It's about this guy who owned a crime scene cleaning company. He stumbles on something. I mean, it was just nonstop. It was dope. Of course, what's the other one that Drake took over as EP? With the young kids in England, they drug dealers.
Boy, something boy.
Top Boy.
Yeah, Top
Top
Boy.
Boy. Top Boy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Top
So,
Boy would be in there. That's such a dope show. Yeah, shows like that. Would be in my queue. You see documentaries, murder mysteries, and those series.
Okay. All right.
Oh,
And now we
that,
put one-on-one in there too.
that's right. And the crazy thing, I forgot. So many people would hit me up because on Girlfriends, I was Darnell. I was Golden Brooks' husband for about
that's
5
right.
episodes. Yes, and then Khalil Kane took my place after that. So people hit me up. They say, "Yo, you was Darnell? I didn't know you was Darnell." And I was like, "Yo, I forgot." So that was pretty cool. Yeah, that was pretty cool. And we did that because we were developing one-on-one at the time. And I went to the network head and I said, "Hey, man, let me get my face back out there as we're preparing for one-on-one. Do you have anything?" And then boom, they put me right on there.
That's nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
So Pee Wee, you gonna hit him with the one gotta go?
Yes, I am, but I
Uh-oh.
want to get real deep real quick with
Okay.
Flex.
Okay.
Okay, real quick, Flex, before I even get deep.
Uh-huh.
Seneca Village, your line. How can people get
Oh, the line isn't Seneca Village. It's called the Black Wealth Series. And our website is www.goodvibezz goodvibes.com.
okay, one more time.
goodvibezz.com. Goodvibes.com. You can go on there. You can see all our merchandise on there.
Okay. All right. I am going to get into the one gotta go, but I want to kind of get deep with Flex real quick.
Okay.
Breonna Taylor. We just heard
Yeah.
everything that kind of went down with Breonna Taylor.
Yeah.
Just give me your thoughts on when you heard the verdict about Breonna Taylor from the grand jury.
I hate to say it, but I expected it. I really did. They're showing us that our lives don't matter, period. Man, woman. They're just showing us that, the system is going to do what the system wants to do. This Attorney General, Daniel Cameron, just the fact that he's in tow with the current president, and Mitch McConnell, he's married to his niece. It stinks. Like, you indict somebody for wanton endangerment that has nothing to do with the bullets that went into her, but the bullets that could have hit other apartments. That's the indictment. It's utterly disrespectful. It is ridiculous. I just don't know what else to say. I don't know what else to say. We've done enough praying. We've done enough marching in peace. Like, what do they want? Are they trying to provoke a civil war? Are they trying to provoke uprising? Like, I don't know, man. Like, it's infuriating. And for me, to have a black son and a black daughter, but most importantly, my son, he has friends with cars. And I'm like, no, you can't get in a car with them, because 4 black teenagers in a car with dreads, that's a pullover signal. They're going to pull you over. And you move the wrong way, even though I still tell them, be respectful and so forth. You see, even being respectful doesn't matter. Being compliant doesn't matter. And it's a worry for me, because they're driving now, and I'm like, yo, I don't even want y'all to start driving by yourself yet.
Absolutely.
I cried, man. I cried for that woman's family, and then all the stuff her ex-boyfriend, was it? It's got nothing, as my grandmother used to say, that ain't got nothing to do with the price of tea in China. It got nothing to do with what this ex did, and the fact that they tried to offer him a deal to say, yo, if you say such and such, we're going to give you a deal. That man was like, nah, I'm not doing that, because she wasn't involved in nothing I did. And they tried to make, she was involved, her name was on the warrant. There's no justification for coming in shooting blindly and then trying to charge her current boyfriend, with attempted murder, because he's shooting back, because they didn't identify themselves. And they tried to do that to keep him quiet, So it pisses me off, man. I don't know the climate is just ugly. The climate, like, I was parked outside of a restaurant waiting for somebody. The car was running. This guy was sitting at least 20 feet away. White guy sitting 20 feet away, at least. He kept looking. I'm like, why is he looking over here? he said something out of his mouth, and I'm just not understanding what he said. So he gets up and he starts walking. He comes up to the side of the car, and I roll it down. It's like, hey, man, the heat from the car is making me hot over there. And I was like, excuse me? I was like, yo, I'm keeping the car cool. I'm sitting in here. It's 100-something degrees. I said, man, I ain't going to say what I said, but I was like, man, just bounce out of here. He was like, oh, yeah, you're being a D. And I'm like, yo, you say one more thing, you're going to get your head twisted. He goes and sits back, and he's just looking at me. And I'm just like, the privilege that you think you have, that you can get up and tell me to cut my engine off because it's bringing heat over there, you're 20 feet away. That's the climate that we're having now. And with this current dude, like, he's exacerbating it. He is provoking it. He's saying key words and key phrases to give these people think they got the okay to act how they want. And they're taking that literally from the everyday American to the police officers that are just has no regard for black life, period. I don't want to hear all lives matter, because if all lives mattered, trust me, it would be a different situation. I don't want to hear that. We have to concentrate on reform, we have to come up with some legislation where you get insurance for police officers, because they should have insurance on them because they have weapons. And if they fire or if they kill someone, then they lose their insurance. But plus, now you have an issue with insurance companies, and it's a greater fall for the collective, as opposed to them having no kind of. They're not beholden to anything at all. There's no repercussions. You got the Ethiopian officer who shot and killed the white lady. They gave him 12 and a half years.
Yeah.
And
that was in Minnesota, correct? That was in Minnesota.
Yeah, Minnesota, of all places, and it just pisses me off, man. It really does. I don't know where we're going from here. I just don't know. And Biden and Kamala Harris, like, they, get tough on some stuff, like that reform, there's a lot of things they need to change. And I don't want to see you in a commercial at a black church just trying to get our votes. What are you going to do? Let's deal with reparations. Stop saying that, are we including Native Americans? Like, we the original Native American.
Right.
And we need to deal with that. I like what Ice Cube was saying, like, yo, contract. You're going to have to get our vote. You're going to have to do something, We're so easily swayed, man. They come do a commercial, Kamala dancing, and then, oh, yeah, she down. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying it's in opposition to them. I'm just saying we've been going through it long enough. Enough.
And you're right. They, instead of the shucking and jiving to our community, give us things that you're going to do different. Because at the end of the day, you're not doing anything different. You haven't given us really too much that you're going to do different. And I hate to say this, that, the knucklehead that's in there right now, he's kind of narrating, what Joe Biden and them are doing. They're reacting to him. And instead of them doing something that he has to react to them. You know what I'm saying? It's just, he's
maestro right now.
Yeah. And it's crazy. Look, you vote for who you want to. Like, I don't get into that. I don't deal with politics. I don't talk about religion. I'm just saying, if we're gonna do this, like, they got to do something, man. It's enough lip service. We've had enough. We've had centuries of lip service. We've had centuries of promises. We've had decades of, we're going to do this. This is going to change. That we're going to do. Like, we something has to happen. Like, it has to happen. Our vote that's why they cater to us, because they know our vote is needed. We want to find out who are our electors, because the American people choose a president in some form, but not fully. It's the college electoral vote, which they're trying to get rid of. We need to find out who our electors are. Let's find out who they are, who are making that decision on our behalf.
Right.
We need to deal with legislation. We need to deal with Supreme Court justice. This dude is talking about trying to put a Supreme Court justice right in there after, Ginsburg ain't even been cold yet.
The same exact day they were working on it.
As soon
as they got the news, they was working on it.
Or working on it. And then they're talking about Attorney General Daniel Cameron being a candidate.
God help him.
So did you? I posted this on my Instagram, and I've been still doing research on it. But you heard that since Trump has been in office, he appointed 100. She will be 199 judges that he's appointed to court,
And
and
not
all
one black.
and not one black person.
Not one black, not a black woman, not a black man, not even a black spot. Like no nothing. Like you, please tell me you don't understand. For people to say this man is not a racist and is not pushing the edge and not throwing kerosene on the fire, like there's no way to call that kid Kyle Rittenhour a national treasure, you know, and say
Right.
that people were bothering him. And this dude was not legally, he was supposed to have a gun. His mother drove him across state lines, which is a federal crime. She should be in jail as well. They put him in juvenile, and they put Khalif Browder in Rikers Island. So that man, you know, and that's the justice, that's the system in the unbalance that we're dealing with in this country, man. It is sickening, man. It is sickening. It is. I think about my children and their children. Like, what is going to be for the next generation?
Yeah, yeah.
What's going to be for the next generation? So I'm hoping that we get to some sort of resolution or something, man, because it's just not looking good.
Well, I want to lighten it up now. Let's
Yeah,
get
I'm
into
sorry.
this one.
I'm sorry.
No.
I'm passionate about that, man. Like,
No,
No, you're fine.
yeah, we all are. Yes.
none of
yes.
us are sleeping good anymore.
Yeah.
And because, you know, I had to ask you that because I was looking at your Instagram page and I saw that you posted some stuff. So I was just make sure that I touched on it. And if you guys want to check out Flex's Instagram page, it's Flex A for real. Okay. Flex A for real. So make sure you guys check them out on Instagram. All right, Flex, we do this thing with everybody. It's called One Gotta Go.
Okay.
We're gonna do 4 rounds of
Okay.
One Gotta Go.
Okay.
All you gotta do is pick which one you're gonna let go of.
Okay.
Okay.
Woo.
Yes.
Set me up. I feel the setup.
So here we go, Flex. One gotta go. One gotta go. Two of them I do with everybody because I always like to see what everybody is thinking. Okay. One gotta go. Movie wise, Love Jones or Love and Basketball. Love Jones or Love in Basketball.
Ow, golly, that's a hard one. Cause Love and Basketball.
What?
And Omar's my boy. Lorenz my boy. I Love Jones was so like it's 2 different kind of things. Like that love story in Love and Basketball was definitely dope. But the Love Jones, it was such a sexy movie, man. And I dig the poetry element of it, the spoken word. It just was such a fly movie. And Bill Bellamy was he did such a great job being an a-hole.
Yeah, he did.
It made you hate him. I don't know. I think Love Jones is, more of a grown folks kind of thing. And I think, that's what I think. Cause I don't know. I'm old soul. So I hate to say that, but I have to say Love Jones. Love and Basketball.
All right. One gotta go, Flex. One gotta go. Girlfriend? Nah, I'm not gonna do that one because that's an easy one. I'm not gonna do that one. Gonna do that one. Yeah.
Okay.
That was too easy because that let you off the. Yeah, that was gonna let him off the hook.
Give me a hard one.
Here we go. One gotta go. Stevie Wonder or Prince.
Oh.
One gotta go. Stevie Wonder or Prince.
Y'all ain't right, man. Wow. Oh gosh, that's so tough. Prince.
Wow.
Prince. Stevie Wonder. It hits different for the culture, for his stance on things. So for me, it's not just the music with Stevie Wonder. You know what I mean? It's his humanitarian efforts. Not saying that Prince didn't do that. I just, yeah, I would say Prince. I know people are gonna be like, man, are you crazy? But what would they say? You know, y'all gonna say Stevie because he's older? That don't mean nothing. You know what that man has done? Oh, you know how many weddings Ribbon in the Sky was played at?
Man. All right, Flex Alexander, one gotta go. One gotta go. Dancing or acting? For you, which one would you let go of? Dancing or acting?
It's easy, dancing, because it's to a point I can't do it no more. I'll love it forever, but I think I could last a little longer acting.
One gotta go. Last round here, Flex.
Okay.
One gotta go. What, Les? Go ahead. You can do it.
Before you say last round, I want to give him one.
Give me one.
Good.
Knowing that I know him the way I do.
Oh, gosh.
One's got to go. House music or hip hop?
Hip hop. Hip hop gotta go. I'm house music all night long.
Me too. I know.
House music all night long. House music all night long.
Wow. I would have never expected that.
I'm a house head originally, man. I'm a house head originally. I love hip hop, definitely. I mean, that was a huge part of our culture. But for me, it just started, the house music. It just started. It's just in me, man. That's something special.
Wow.
I would, if a great house song came on, I would get out there, even with my broken up bones. I would try to dance. I would try to dance off that, as opposed to a great hip hop song come on. I'll just go be like, oh, okay, you know.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Since you said you're from South Bronx, right?
Yeah, the South Bronx. Yes, sir.
South Bronx. One gotta go. Hip hop. Rakim or Big Daddy Kane? One gotta go.
Oh, man, why y'all doing this to me, man? That is so not fair. I can't, because they're both goats to me. I can't. That's a tough one, man. That's a really, they can't be neutral on this one. Oh my gosh, yo, wow, yeah,
You can't answer this one, Flex?
I gotta tap out, man. I have to tap out. I can't answer that one. I can't answer that one. I really can't, because they both are goats to me. Like, for real. That's I violated the rules. I can't answer that one. I plead the fifth on that one. I plead the fifth.
That's all. We'll take that. It's all good, Flex. It's all good.
Thank you, man.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, October 15th, get it in your queue right now on Netflix, okay? Put it in there right now. 101 is coming back to Netflix. My man Flex Alexander, congratulations on that deal, man.
Thank you.
If you guys want to follow him on social media, it's Flex A, the letter A, for real, all right?
Yeah.
Flex A for real on social media. When do you do your DJing? Let everybody know what days you do it.
Yeah, that's the thing, man, about that. I'm just trying to figure out some regular days. Now I'll just kind of pop up and do it. I'll always post. I'll just say that I'll post when I would go on, because I'm not on a regular schedule anymore, because IG be hating and cutting my music off.
Yeah, I know. They be dropping folks quick.
Yo, man.
The pop-ups are hot, though. You hit it in quick with the pop-ups.
Yeah.
They are so dope. And
I've
can
been
I
doing that.
say how hilarious you are with your daughter in the car, and you are torturing her.
Yes. She hates that I'm on TikTok. She absolutely. They're like, no, don't be on TikTok. I'm like, yes, I'm gonna be all on TikTok.
And everybody's got to watch the new season of Mixed Dish.
Mixed Dish, yes. Yes. We the new neighbors.
Flex, since you said that, my daughter is on TikTok also. all the
Okay.
time.
Wow.
Now, since you said that, I might have to jump on, man.
Jump on it, man. Let's piss these young kids off.
I might have to jump. She's sitting right here too, so I
Yeah,
might have to
yeah.
jump on. Start learning me some, some
Yeah,
TikTok
yeah.
stuff.
I haven't done a dance yet, dude. None of this stuff. But I'm annoying the crap out of my kids.
Yeah, I start becoming a TikToker.
That's right. TikTok, baby. TikTok, baby.
I'm so proud of you. I'm so happy for you, and
Love you, Les. Thank you. Thank
We
you.
wish you and your family continued blessings, Flex. Thank you so
Thank you.
very much for taking the time out your day to rock with us. We're going to be looking out on Netflix for the reboot of One on One. We're
Yes,
going to
sir.
look at you on Mix-ish also. So
Yes,
make sure you
sir.
guys look out for that when it comes
and
back.
a family business.
And family business, man. This
Yeah,
guy,
whatever.
I love it. Stay busy, baby. Stay
Yes,
busy
sir.
and continue, I didn't see in your IG joint though, but continue to teach people about the finances, Flex.
Oh yeah. I will do that. That was an older post, but I will. I try to, IG, man. Like you say something, somebody got to debate it. But I said, man, I love oranges. They're good for you. They're like, man,
Right.
there's too much sugar in oranges. So you just
Forget
can't
all
win.
that. Forget all that.
Yeah.
As long as you touch, like K. Stephanie said, as long as you touch somebody, that's all
Yeah.
that matters, man. You know
Exactly.
what I'm saying?
Exactly,
So
man.
we
Appreciate
want to
y'all.
thank you once again, my brother. Ladies and gentlemen, please make some noise for our special guest, Flex Alexander. Yeah, man.
Thank you. Thank you,
That's-
Karen, as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's K. Stephanie. That's Big Les. I'll be your man, Bigg Pwee, on this Feel Good Friday. You guys enjoy your day. Have a blessed one, and y'all see y'all on Monday. All right? Peace.
Hey.
Yeah. You are now live